Hey, it's Tori, and welcome back to my channel. Today we welcome Ludo from Delain to the channel. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm doing really well. It's lovely to catch up with you again after seeing you. How long's it been now? A year, 2 years?
1.5 year, I
One,
would
yeah.
say. No,
It's gone
actually,
so,
no. A little more than 1 year. Yes, was
yeah,
September.
yeah. It's gone really fast though.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm gonna make a little joke just because I can. How is that instrument of hair treating you?
Was what?
How
What's
is that
tricking me?
your instrument of hair? You made a joke about it on on Instagram.
Oh wow. Well, it's my main thing, and I have to deal with this. It's my yeah. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I can imagine that. It's
Yes, I can. I mean, mine is straight and short, and it's already a lot of work. I can't imagine with your curls and how long it is, and everything that goes into that. So,
But I have to
anyway,
say, I'm very, very lazy with this. I have to say, I'm very, very lazy.
you
So,
are. But I mean,
yeah,
it,
I am. I
it
am.
always
I
looks
don't give them.
fantastic.
Oh, thanks. But I don't give it the attention it actually needs. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, I'm sure you're too busy for that. What with being on the road and touring and everything that goes with that, which is what we're here to talk about. Your brand new EP, "Dance with the Devil," which is out on November 8th via Napalm Records. You've already had a single out so far. How have you found the fan response from that?
Oh, absolutely great. And this is a slightly different direction compared to Dark Waters because this has less symphonic, uh, classic symphonic metal elements, and it's more like synth, electronic stuff in it, um, and also the growling part, the heavy stuff in there, it's more has more space compared to Dark Waters. So it was kind of experiment to us, but I have to say that people really loved it, and we're so happy about this. And yeah, couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
Super feedback from our fans.
I mean, I absolutely loved it, especially with the growl part, because it's not something. I mean, there's been growls in Delain here and there, but this just like came out of left field. I was like, whoa, what was that? But it really fit with what you were going for with the vibe of the song, and it just fits really well with Diana's vocals too. So I'm glad you guys put that in there.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We really actually love the combination of super super nice melodies and heavier riffs and the growling part. I love that. Absolutely love that.
So could you tell us in your own words what this EP is about and what it represents for the band?
Well, in general, I have to say, well, for sure, Martin could tell you more in detail about it, and also Diana and Robin because they wrote the lyrics. So that part is more comes from them. But I can tell you that in general, um, this is more a transition moment. Like this is something that we released to see what can be the new direction style-wise for Delain for the next album.
Hmm.
As I told you, we decided to not include any classical symphonic elements in that, and we want to see how was the reaction from the audience, and we want to see also in terms of visual, what how how good that will be. Was the reaction from our fan base, and we're very happy about that, and we're super happy um, that people can recognize Delain style uh, when we are more classical symphonic metal band and when we are more synth pop metal in some way, and we're super happy about that. So let's see let's see what will come after this. Let's see what will happen with the new album, and yeah, that's basically it.
I think it's a smart way to test the waters, as you were saying, to not just throw somebody into a full album, just release a couple here and there, because obviously the EP, it has a couple of brand new songs, but of course it's got older songs that you've performed live, and then the instrumental stuff. And yeah, that I was going to ask you why you decided to release an EP instead of doing an album, and you pretty much just answered that. I think it's smart. It's a good way to see if the fans are going to like this next edition, if you will, of Delain.
Yes, absolutely. And also we had so many requests from fans about a version of a song from Dark Waters with a different ending. So we also decided to include that, Underland. And also we thought it was nice to have a super classic Delain song from Lucidity, but performed by the new lineup. So that it was also something cool to do, something nice to experiment with the new lineup. And well, when the EP is gonna be released, people will tell us if they like it, and but I'm sure they will, because it's very nicely done. So
I was going to ask you about that. I'm not going to say the name specifically because I don't know if that's released out yet, but how did you guys decide on that one specific song?
um, well, that's a good question actually. Uh, to be super honest, I don't know why Martin came with this idea in the first place. I know that Diana already uh, sung it sung it even before playing live.
Hmm.
So probably that was the decision. So probably that was why we went for that song probably. But anyway, it's one of my favorite songs, so I'm happy we decided for that. And I think we can say the name because the track list was revealed. So I think we can also say, is it the track list revealed? Yes, the track list is
I
revealed.
think,
So we can say, yeah, it's Sleepwalker's Dream from City. So yeah,
yeah, it's a beautiful track. You guys have done really, really well with it, especially with the new lineup. And it's always got to be difficult, but also nerve wracking because, of course, it was put out previously as something, and now it's been released with this new lineup. And just being able to see what the fans, I bet you're eagerly waiting for that to see what they think.
yeah, absolutely.
So, of course, the creative process, how does that differ from creating an EP per se to a full on album?
Oh, well, Martin could answer this better than me, but I can tell you, um, as long as the music comes from his inspiration, comes from his heart, it doesn't really make a huge difference writing an EP or an album.
Hmm.
Probably, well, of course, the main difference is that when you decide a theme, when you go for a certain style and you kind of picture the whole thing in your head, of course, there's much work to do for an album because there are so many more tracks. So in that case, you want to be super consistent style-wise with all the tracks and everything. And so it's of course the whole process takes more time, but songwriting wise, the creative process is basically the same because it comes from Martin's ideas. He develops the ideas, and then he gets inputs from us, from the band, and what he likes, he keeps it in the songs, and what he doesn't, it doesn't go through. But basically, the creative process is the same. So
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. So, of course, you've got some live versions of songs on this EP. How did you go about choosing those?
so well, first of all, because those are the songs that we enjoy more to play live, and that have um, more impact on the audience when we played it. Some of those songs are taken from from the shows we had this tour, the last tour, European tour, and especially from the Warsaw show. And it was probably one of the highlights of the tour, of the whole tour. So we decided to tribute that, to
Hmm.
celebrate that, because it was so special for us, that show. And for instance, Moth to a Flame, one of our uh, most one of our best live songs in this last years. It comes from that show in particular, and we remember that in that show the audience surprised us with signs,
Hmm.
with written lyrics from the song, and we didn't expect that. And we decided to celebrate that, to tribute that with you know, picking it from the whole tour, and decided to put that version, that live song in particular, on the EP, for instance. So things like this, you know.
Yeah. That there's nothing like the energy that you get from the crowd, and then that of course affects you and your performance and the atmosphere and everything like that. And I think you definitely can hear that within these performances for sure.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
The
Yeah, it's
same. Sorry, go ahead.
no, just saying that you see, you can hear the energy from the band, and where there is much energy is because there is much energy from the audience as well. So it's you know, both audience and the band are playing in the tracks, actually. So it's a combination of both things.
Yeah, well, that's why I love live shows because I mean, studio's fantastic, don't get me wrong, and you guys do put your heart and your soul into your studio performances as well. That does come across. But then when I came to see you live and I saw that passion and that energy up on stage, and then that was given back from the crowd, there's just nothing like it.
Absolutely, totally agree, totally agree.
So of course you also have the instrumental versions of some of these songs. Is Was this the same sort of thought process behind choosing those ones?
Yes. Instrumental tracks are something that people usually ask for. They like to have something uh to sing on, if you want to cover it,
Mm-hmm.
and to, you know, and we really love that when people decided to cover our songs and publish it online. It's something that shows us how much people like the music, how they want to connect with the music. They sing their own version. So yeah, we always like to have instrumental tracks on the records. Absolutely.
Yeah. Such a nice way to look at it. It's also, I think it's good for, because sometimes you don't want to listen to music that has lyrics or a voice or anything. You just kind of need something in the back, and some of your favorite songs turned into instrumental tracks is a fantastic way to do that as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well said.
So, of course, deviating a little bit away from the EP for a moment, you are also pretty much the band's artist at this point. Your designs have been on so many like t-shirts and merch and stuff like that. How does that make you feel to see people, fans wearing your artwork?
Ah, it's super beautiful. I love to see that. I love to see people wearing my designs, and I love that they really like it. I love that my style is matching Delain. You know, I don't consider it as a given to, you know, to be able to design merchandise for my band. And I always told them that if we decide to go for some other artist in the future, super open to that, because also probably you also don't want to see like the same artist behind every artwork, every merchandise design in the future. Probably you want also to see some change here and there. So
Hmm.
I have some artists that I really like, and I would love to work with them as well, and to ask them some designs for Delain merchandise. And but yeah, as long as people like what I do, it's unbelievably cool to see all my designs around there in the venue, people wearing my t-shirts. It's super super awesome, super awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the ones I've gotten that have been your designs, they're just, like you say, they just fit really well with the band's aesthetic and the vibes that you're going for. But I totally understand wanting to bring somebody else in as well, and just to change up things a little bit. And I mean, that also takes not pressure per se, because I'm sure you absolutely love designing, but you're also busy being a musician at the same time. And, you know, it's nice to have fresh eyes, and but also, like, your designs are so, they're gorgeous. Every time Delain releases something and I know that you've done it, I'm like, now I need that t-shirt.
Thank you very much, thank you.
So how did you get into art? Is this something that you studied, or is this just like a natural talent that you've developed since you were young?
Oh, actually, well, I had always loved drawing since I was super super young, and I also studied graphic design, but
Mm-hmm.
for a different in a different field, because it was more advertising, graphics and this kind of stuff. But yeah, I've been working with bands designing merchandise and the artworks for many years now. So now that I can mainly focus on Delain's graphics, it's even better, because I can have, like, I can embrace the vision of the band style wise, and develop that idea, and try to get better and better at creating artworks for the band, because it's not that I'm not working for a band this week and then
Mm-hmm.
next week with another band, and need to get into their style, and try to understand that. Working with the same band helps me getting better at the way I communicate Delain's style to the people,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something super cool. So yeah, that's it.
Well, I also think it helps that you're also a part of Delain, and it's your band at the same time, because you're part of that soul, if you will, part of that essence as well, and then that comes across in your art, and it really does. It's, like I said, it's some of the most beautiful merch that I have seen.
Ah, thank you very much.
So you guys are getting ready to head off on tour soon. How do you prepare yourself for touring?
Ooh. Um, this is a good question, because some people may think that we are getting ready together for a tour, but we don't, because we
Mm-hmm.
live far from each other. So, for instance, in this moment, we are getting ready for the UK and Ireland tour next month, and there's a lot of stuff to do. In my case, I had to do, new merchandise for the
Mm-hmm.
tour, and we're working on uh, new props, new new stage look, and everything, and that's super cool. Also, especially when you have a new record out.
Mm-hmm.
So this tour is promoting the new EP, so it's also super nice to imagine what the shows will look like from the audience perspective. Now we want this color. Now we want people to see this on stage, because this is the new era. This is the new EP tour. So I think most of the preparation before the tour is about that,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and yeah, more that than actually playing and rehearsing.
Which is understandable, because you do have to sell it to the audience, and have them enjoy the show too, and that stage presence and the lighting and everything, how you lay out the set list and everything is super important, because I, I can't imagine playing a song and then like the crowd is hyped one moment, and then I'm sure this has happened to every single band, but and then you go into a next song and they're kind of like meh, and then they get hype again, and you got to figure that out, and it's got to be stressful but also exciting at the same time.
Exactly, exactly. Also, the set list is something crucial.
Yes.
You want to keep people's attention high all the time. It's not possible to have their 100% attention all the time through the set list. So you need to decide when have them resting a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and when to have the last final rush with 100% of the energy and get their attention back and make them jump and sweat and dance. So it's also, yeah, that's also a very, very important part of preparing for a tour, and how to include new songs, what to play from the old albums. People, uh, also listening to what people like to hear. That's also a thing, because we have so many requests from the audience. Oh, we want to see. Why don't you play that? Why don't you play that? We want to see. We want to hear that. Yeah, yeah. We cannot play for 5 hours in a show.
I mean, I wish you guys could, but you know, you're only human at the end of the day, and
Yeah, human
you want,
old.
yeah, exactly.
We are old. We are tired. We are old.
Me
No, it's
too. No, I feel that. I'm at that point now where I'm done with the pits, and if there's seats, fantastic, cuz my back just, I'm like, I feel like I'm an old lady, but I still enjoy going to these shows and meeting you guys. Of course, I'll be there in March in Atlanta. I'm so excited to see you guys again.
yes, excited too. Absolutely, absolutely.
So, on tour, of course, it is not only very physically demanding, but it's also very emotionally, mentally draining as well. How do you take care of yourself in those ways?
Oh, I'm the worst at taking care of myself in that regard. Yeah, I'm definitely not a healthy person, physically and mentally, because I sometimes I overwork. Sometimes I remember, for instance, last year, um, beginning of last year, I was on tour with another band, with Flash Good Apocalypse, but in my off time, I was working on the merchandise for Delain for the next tour that was
Hmm.
happening like 2 months after that. And so I'm very bad at organizing my life and my work. So I always, for some reason, I always find myself in a condition where I'm working in super stressful situations, and that happens on tour as well. So I'm the worst at this, but I can tell you that now with Delain, I'm learning um, how to treat myself a little bit better, and how to get the proper rest,
Hmm.
you know, during the tour, where, when to push, when to relax. That's also very, very important. The other guys are more experienced than me, so they know better that, and also they are a little bit older, so of course for them is even more important than for me. I can tell you, I see the difference in my body, in my mind, how it changes from year to year, how you get more tired. You know you need to really to know when to push and when to relax. That's very, very important.
Yeah.
And in general, we're kind of, no, we're not healthy people at all. We don't eat healthy at all. But
That's,
Diana is she's super, super good at that. Super good.
yeah. I can, excuse me, I can imagine that, to be honest. I'd be one of those people who just don't eat right at all. I don't know how people are do that, especially touring. I know when I do travel and I do go home, and I'm like, food, things I've missed out on, or you get to travel to all these new places, and you want to experience their culture and what they have, and sometimes you're on the road and you have to get whatever you can get, and if that's fast food, then that's going to be fast food, and
Absolutely.
it's got to be difficult.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I don't want to keep you too much longer, Ludo. What are your rest of year plans for the band?
Well, we have a lot of stuff coming for next year. Um, we have of course the American tour coming, and we need uh, to organize our time and see when it is going to be a good moment to write new music
Mm-hmm.
um, and to think about the new album. Yeah, a lot of stuff is cooking. I'm not allowed to speak too much about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the future looks always bright when you work with such amazing group of people. So um, cool stuff is on the way, and people will be happy about what we're cooking. So yeah.
So stay tuned for that, because I certainly am. I'm very excited for your future, and honestly, when I met you all, you were the kindest, most warm-hearted people. Like, you guys made me feel like I was the rock star. And I was like, no, this should be the other way around. This is how I feel about you guys.
But you are a rock star, actually. So that was super, super nice to see you there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're doing a fantastic job with your channel, and
Thank you.
I follow you, and you're great. So yeah, you were a rock star there. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you have any last words for people watching this interview, just of thanks or anything like that?
Well, people, please keep following this channel and listening to Delain or whatever music you like, because it's music that connects people in such a powerful, strong way. So let music fill your mind, your body, your life, and yeah. And I love you all. We love you all,
Yeah, we
and
love you
thanks for.
too. So the new EP Dance with the Devil is out on November 8th. I will leave the pre-order link down below in the description. Go ahead and pre-order it if you haven't already, along with all of Delain's links so you can find them, follow them, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Excuse me, my voice. Ludo, thank you so much for being here today and for chatting with me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Tauri. My pleasure. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to become a Taurian. Speaking of becoming a Taurian, all of my social media links and my Discord link are down below in the description. We'd absolutely love to have you come hang out in the Discord community, and I will see you guys in the next video. Rock on.